so far from your conversations with the president yesterday, is he taking charge in the right way? Is he doing enough? What is your reaction to the trip so far?
Well, listen, we appreciate the president coming down and spending the night, and I actually thought the meeting yesterday accomplished a good bit. We have some boat owners, some shrimpers, some charter captains whose boats can be used, and the president, I think, is about to take ownership of that and allow these people who actually are losing their livelihoods to get out there and be part of the solution. I think the claims process has been terrible. I think it's about to get better, I hope. And there are a number of things that we can do. I'm grateful that the administration is prepared to allow shallow water drilling, which is a whole different safety issue, to resume again, because we don't have the safety problems with shallow water drilling that we do with deep water. So I think there's progress being made, and I thought we had a very business-like, productive meeting yesterday.
Now, one of the things that has been raised by some of your colleagues over on the House side, Waxman and Stupak in particular, and we've seen the hearings today, is BP's lack of preparedness and the fact that in a letter that they sent yesterday to the oil company, that time after time they wrote, BP appeared to make decisions that increased the risk of a blowout to save the company time or expense. And they've got emails from the well team leader talking about how they raised objections to the use of these additional centralizers, writing, quote, "It will take time. It will take 10 hours to install them. I do not like this." According to another BP official, he replied, "Well, who cares? It's done. End of story. We'll probably be fine." And then the drilling engineers said in these emails, "It's been a nightmare well, which has everyone all over the place." So they were clearly rushing ahead and not using even best practices for the industry here in the United States.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there was gross negligence on the part of BP, and we began discovering this in hearings weeks and weeks ago in the Senate Commerce Committee. And I have to commend the press on this. The press has done a lot of investigation, brought a lot out that is benefiting House and Senate committee members. So yes, it looks bad for BP, and it should, because they took some shortcuts. I think they were counseled not to do that, and in many cases there were people pleading that they not take the shortcuts, and the American people, and particularly the people in my section of the country, are paying a very high price for it.
Now, I want to also ask you about one of your other responsibilities up there, because you're on the Armed Services Committee, and I think you were there in the room today when General Petraeus got lightheaded. He said that he was dehydrated. Tell me what went on, because he was testifying and he seemed to be passing out.
Right. Well, he was answering questions from Senator McCain, and he paused for a moment and appeared to faint and slump over. You know, I've seen this happen before. It happened with Secretary Daley back in the Clinton administration. I think a lot of these people are so involved in their activities, they forget to eat and take enough fluids. And I think the general just got a little dehydrated. I hope he's okay. He says he's okay, and he'll be back tomorrow morning at 9. I certainly would say this. He is an invaluable asset to the United States of America in this effort that we have to be successful in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So I think he's okay, and I hope he's okay. He's a good one.
Well, and in fact, there's a lot of reporting about problems on the Afghanistan war. The New York Times and the Washington Post both have front page stories. We've been all over it. My colleague Richard Engel has been heroically reporting from several embeds and has been witness to the extraordinary firefight that our men and women are experiencing there. So let's talk about the war itself for a moment, Senator. What are your concerns about the ability to wind down by July of 2011, as has been projected? Do you think that the administration has to take another look at this?
Well, I'll tell you, in a moment of very important candor today, General Petraeus said in a perfect world, he didn't like timelines. I think that was a very significant bit of testimony before he became ill. The deadline doesn't help us. And it has caused concern among our allies over there as to whether NATO will be there in the long run, whether the United States will be there in the long run. I'll tell you, it's real easy to lose your credibility when you're in a position like the United States, and real hard to get it back. I hope we will be steadfast there, but I see signs, and I think this is what Senator McCain was getting at in his questioning. I see signs that our July 2011 deadline is causing the Afghans to maybe look elsewhere and believe that we're not going to be there as a strategic partner in the long haul. I hope that's not correct, because it's very important that we win. The Afghan people despise the Taliban. They want the Afghan government under President Karzai, flawed though it may be, flawed though the election may be. They want that government to succeed as opposed to the Taliban. But they're going to need time, and we're going to have to admit that this is going to involve a fight.
But the offensive in Marja, the containment there, has not worked as well as had been predicted. We're hearing from General McChrystal that Kandahar may not take place as soon as we think, that operation is being delayed. Let me share with you just a little moment, and we'll hear more from Richard Engel tonight on NBC Nightly News, what he experienced with one group. Take a look.
Just before dark Saturday, soldiers from the 82nd Airborne Division fight off a Taliban surprise attack on an American outpost in the Arghandab Valley. The battle is fierce. 20 Taliban fighters are just 100 yards away.
This base has come under heavy attack. Already one soldier has been severely injured.
2 more Americans are wounded before the fight is over. They'll all survive. But battles like this one are picking up and taking a toll.
And now, Senator, I know this is difficult to watch for many people, but this is the reality that our men and women are experiencing over there.
Well, certainly we expected a fight, and this is what we were told to expect. General McChrystal and General Petraeus said it will be tough, it will get worse before it gets better, and we can expect casualties. So I'm not surprised by this. But there is no better fighting force in the history of the world than the American fighting force over there right now. We are certainly equal to any task. The role that we need to have in this government is to make it clear that we are behind them, and we're going to give them the resources and the time to get the job done. If they have that, then there's no question that our military can be successful. Our military can do it. I just hope our government can stay behind them.
Thank you very much, Senator.
Thank you. Glad to be with you.
Thank you, Senator Wicker. Good to see you. And up next, a preview of the President's Oval Office address tonight with White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs. And later, Gulf Coast businesses facing economic disaster. We'll talk with one restaurant owner who is just trying to stay afloat. The President will be speaking from the Oval Office tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. Stay with MSNBC for live coverage. You're watching Andrea Mitchell Reports only on MSNBC.